Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. The subject of this video is why do people, intellectuals, smart people, sometimes react only when something that I would say they perceive as being wrong in a society, as a law, as a rule, as a policy, the dynamics, they react only when they're hurt themselves. That is, I see something is going on over there. I don't say anything about it because it doesn't hurt me personally. I ignore it, or I don't even see it. I understand sometimes you make this mistake. Only when it hurts us directly, then we realize, wait, that law that have been around us was wrong all the time, and only when it hurts me, I react. I'm going to talk about 3 individuals in this video particularly. One is Candace Owens, whom I like very much. Sometimes I watch some parts of her videos, and unfortunately for her, or fortunately, because it's always 2 sides, at least 2 sides. She got in a situation where she goes full acceleration on a certain subject that she didn't touch much before, and that is the people who used to hire her before they fired her. Now, I don't care if she was fired, I don't care if they part ways, I like her. Second individual is Dr. Jordan Peterson, whom I like very much as well. And the third person is Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson claimed in one of his videos that I watch, I like Tucker Carlson, but he is, I'm suspicious, to put it this way, or skeptical. I'm waiting, as someone used to say, for the other shoe to drop, or something like that. So what's going on over here? Candace Owens used to work, or had a collaboration with Daily Wire, if I remember correctly. That is Ben Shapiro, and another guy of the same kind. And then this collaboration soured when Candace Owens said something about Jesus is king and so on, and nowadays they tried to push that onto us like that is anti-Semitic, or this is that and this is that, because freedom of speech should work only in one direction, and that is the one that they dictate. So after that and a few other little interactions, they parted ways, and she has kind of like a gag order, not a gag order, but the contract says you will not talk about stuff after we part ways. That's why she's not picking the subject. Ben Shapiro will not debate her, obviously, and I don't know if she would be able to say much about it. My point is, after this incident, she had an awakening, which is those people are bad, and you can see them everywhere, or at least where Kanye West, used to say, in positions of power. And since then, she has now another channel. She started this particular channel, Candace Owens. She had it before, and she goes full force on the subject, and she doesn't hold back anymore. She did before, and the change was when she got hurt by those people. I have here 2 examples. I have 2 videos that I watched. I have this little CC iPad here that I'm going to use, where she talks about many others, some Rabbi Shmuley and others, and so on. Now she tells almost everything I think that she might want to say about the subject. Before, no. I like her. It's not a criticism. I'm happy that she veered this way. And I didn't like in the first place when she worked for Daily Wire and worked with Ben Shapiro, who I used to like. But with time, watching, I realized that Ben Shapiro becomes subjective and doesn't use the same logic and fact-based analysis and reaches conclusions in an objective way on 2 subjects, and those were Vladimir Putin / Russia and Israel and Palestine, or the Palestinians. Those were two subjects, and he was ignoring certain things, and he was overemphasizing some other things. So since then, I stopped watching him unless it was something that some other commentators would point out to words. But I don't think I watched him, I don't know, since he had that after the October the 7th, and he came out and I think he showed who he really is. I had no doubt at that time who he was. Before, I mean, maybe 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I stopped watching him. I realized, wait a second, stop. So, Candace Owens. Candace Owens had this video, and I'm not going to put it in the description below. It's on Candace Owens, and this is the title, literally Hitler. So I'm reading the title. Why can't we talk about him? Question mark. Candace Owens, episode 17. And this is a copy of a snapshot, whatever, no snapshot, screenshot of that video if you want to go and watch it. But today's video has to do with her. This is the last video with Candace Owens talking about Jordan Peterson that she's not very happy with. And the video is this. Let me put my goggles, I don't see it. It is from 17 hours ago or so, 11 hours ago. Is this the end of Jordan Peterson? Question mark, episode 21, right there. This is the one. And she starts making a case from about minute, I don't know, 10 to minute 27. So it would be about 17 minutes, where she talks about Jordan Peterson. And Jordan Peterson, just to switch to Jordan Peterson, he collaborates with Daily Wire, with the, what's his name? Ben Shapiro. For me, that's an alarm, big signal alarm. And he collaborates with Prager University and others, and see who the guys are over there. So that's a very, for me, it's like, wait. I also have a video that I will just direct you to, or not direct you, or recommend to you, from October 21st, 2023, where I spoke about Jordan Peterson not touching one subject, or if he touches it, is all beautiful. That's, I think, unsincere. Now, Candace Owens' point. She makes a point that Jordan Peterson lost his way since he is collaborating with and she's talking about Michaela Peterson, Jordan Peterson's daughter, who, and if you watch that video of Candace Owens from minute about 10, you're going to realize what's all about. So Michaela calls for censorship in one of her tweets. Why? Because it's related to the group. And censorship and moderation on Twitter. So you can't use rats, for tropes and all that. You can't use other words. And Candace Owens explains very nicely that her father used the word rat, referring to Fuente, I think it was. Fuente, was it that one? And then she makes a real point. That means Michaela will censor her father, and then her father get into the tweet against this guy Fuente, who I'm familiar with, and we are supposed to all hate him, right? Just so you know. And Jordan Peterson loses his cool, and he calls him a psychopathic, if I remember correctly, rat. Exactly what Michaela said that should be censored. And then you're going to realize that the father, which is not that father, but Jordan Peterson, loses not only his cool, he loses his objectivity because he defends his daughter, I think, instead of defending the truth. Or, she makes, Candace Owens make a good point over there. Watch that and you're going to realize what's going on. I remember Aristotle, the great ancient Greek philosopher, he was asked something about, hey, Plato said this about this issue, philosophical idea, what do you think? And Aristotle, in this case, let's say Peterson, Jordan Peterson, Dr. Jordan Peterson, and let's say Plato is Michaela, his daughter. So Aristotle how do you call it? Is not agreeing with Plato's point. So he has his own interpretation of the same that issue. And then the person who asked the question asked him, well, that's Plato over there, what are you doing? And Aristotle responds, I love Plato, but I love truth more. So this is, I think, what Jordan Peterson should have done in this conversation about censorship, Rat, and others with his daughter, Fuentes, and the issue of censorship. He is against that. But here, he agrees with her, and she agrees with censorship because it's only about one issue. You can call me a rat, but don't call that a rat. All right, people familiar with the issue know. Now, I have this video. I'm not going to play it for you, obviously. It is from, as I said, 21st of October, 2023, and it's titled, it says, video, why Dr. Jordan Peterson plays quote-unquote dumb facing Netanyahu, why refuses to touch the subject. So let me give you this so you can see how. I said, even he is afraid of the subject. And that is an incident when Jordan Peterson, for me, that raised the alarm. Again for Jordan Peterson. That was a long time ago when he had a little speech. I think he was in New York, and he was asked about one of his idols, who is Alexander Solzhenitsyn. So he was a literature Nobel laureate. He just defected into the United States of America. He wrote the Gulag Archipelago, and in the Gulag Archipelago, and in another work of Solzhenitsyn names groups, and he made them responsible for certain bad things that happened in the Soviet Union. Now, Jordan Peterson is aware of Solzhenitsyn's work, but he plays dumb on stage when he's asked to make the connection. He won't. He doesn't take that chance. So that was for me an alarm. You can watch that video. He interviews Netanyahu, and he is like a young girl, being told that you look so pretty. All right. So that's the way it is with these two. And now let's go to Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson said in one of his videos, I can't remember, maybe a few months ago, that he started seeing things or changed only when he got out of the mainstream media. So when he was making the money and working for, I'm not criticizing him because I don't like him. I like him. It's just for you to pay attention, if you weren't. And he said that when he got out of mainstream media, then only he got like an enlightenment and he saw who is who and what is what. Remember, he interviewed Kanye West. He told him who's who and what's what, but he refused to listen. Why? You make your own assessment of that. I don't think that some people, only when they're kicked out, realize. I mean, some yes, sometimes no, but all these three people that I mentioned, Candace Owens, Dr. Peterson, not Pierce, and Tucker Carlson, they are not idiots. Candace Owens is courageous. They're all courageous. Back, killed it. All right, I was flying around and said, I'm going to get you, mofo. All right. So they're not stupid, and I know they can see through things. So if they didn't figure out who's who and what's what, then that means they're dumb. And they're not dumb. That means it's either, evil intent, or it's really, inability. Just didn't figure it out. I don't think these three people didn't figure it out. But I think they kept their mouth shut, as I keep my mouth shut, but I'm at a very lower level, and sometimes I'm trying to say things in a coded manner. Why? Because I personally can't fight those guys in a plain fight, or I'm too small, let's put it this way. But hey, I have my agendas as well. They, on the other hand, are better connected and financially secured and so on. Remember Kanye West, when he was worth $2 billion after he started saying things The media called him crazy and all that, and he lost some deals with Adidas, about $1 billion in a week or something like this, and they calmed him down. So they can't calm down, what's his name, Elon Musk yet. They can put him to rest, I have no doubt, if they really want. So here are the three people, and I'm glad that Candace Owens right now, she goes, how do you call it, scorched earth or something like that. She goes all the way, and her videos are monetized, and she said things that others, if they would say, they would be getting some strikes. And that's another thing that I observed with YouTube, and I observed that on certain so-called personalities. And here we go again, Ben Shapiro. He can say certain things. Before I even got in this YouTube thing, and not only, he could say certain things that when I said it, I was closed. And I didn't say it, but mildly touched the same subject. So the same Candace Owens, watching that video, she's just fine. And she says certain things that when I said certain things close to that, I had some slaps around by the guardians of the truth, gatekeepers. Again, this video is not to criticize the three. What I hope that Jordan Peterson will, if he can, I don't even know what his connection is with, I don't know, just saying Mossad, for instance. I don't know. But I hope that he's going to go away from Daily Wire as others, because that's an enterprise, a special enterprise. And again, Tucker Carlson, he's doing a great job, but I don't buy that thing with he opened his eyes only when, he opened his eyes, he's 53 or 54, been in media, rubbed shoulders and elbows with people, been around, editors about company CEOs, and he knows that his father worked, if I remember, in intelligence. Don't you think that his father gave him some information? Or anyway, this is not to, as I said, criticize these guys. I like them, but I want Candace Owens moved out, Tucker almost, I would say, moved out, and Peterson, Dr. Peterson, he's all in the other camp. And as a sincere intellectual, I don't think you can do that. And obviously, but Candace Owens also makes the point of how can Dr. Peterson, and you go watch those 15 minutes or so, if you want, how can he preach, to make this kind of rules, 12 rules for life and all that, and he did not follow his rules. My answer will be, we all make mistakes, but those are easy rules and so on. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.